2 years ago, I had a realization that changed everything. And it wasn't a productivity hack, not a diet or a business strategy, and it wasn't a motivational quote. It was one single shift in how I saw the world. And within 6 months, I gained over 40 pounds, I rebuilt my discipline, and I completely transformed my life. It was one belief change and one perspective shift, and everything else followed. And the crazy part, it wasn't complicated. It wasn't some secret wisdom. It was so simple that when I figured it out, I was so angry at myself for not seeing it sooner. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what changed and how you can make the same change in your life as well. So here's what I used to believe, and I bet you probably believe too. It is the I'll be happy when. When I'll lose weight, then I'll be more confident again. When I make a certain amount of money, then I'll be more happy. When I meet the right person, then I'll be complete. When I get the promotion, then I'll feel complete. And it's crazy because my whole life was built on the idea that external validation creates internal change. I thought that happiness, confidence, and fulfillment were things that happened to you. They were results, outcomes, things that you earned by fixing your life first. So I kept waiting. I was hoping for things to get easier and better in my life, but nothing changed. The problem is, I was waiting for external circumstances to give me permission to feel good about myself. And that's exactly why I was stuck. And the truth is, when you're waiting for your life to change until times get better, then you will never change. Because you can only change if you make that change within yourself. You have to make different choices and take different actions. And that is going to lead to a complete new version of you that you will become. And I was wrong for so long, where I thought the life comes first and then the identity. But you have to first create that identity, and the life is going to be a byproduct of who you become in the process. I remember this moment a couple of years ago. I was looking in the mirror and I literally negotiated with myself for 20 minutes. I told myself, it's not that deep. I can start next year. I can start at a different time. But all of these were just excuses that kept me stuck in the same place until I realized something needs to change. So it was one moment where I completely decided for myself that, hey, I'm going to bring this into a new direction. I've been waiting for motivation to create action, but action creates motivation and not the other way around. So here's the belief that rebuilt my life. I don't wait for the person that I want to be. I act like that person right now, and becoming follows. I want you to read that again because this is the entire game. You don't lose weight and then become a healthy person. You become a healthy person and then you're going to lose the weight. You don't fix your life and become disciplined. You become disciplined first and then your life fixes itself. So when it comes to losing weight, I ask myself, what does a fit person do in that moment? So I started doing those things, not because I felt like a fit person, but that's exactly what is required to achieve that goal. And after a few weeks of acting like a person who was fit, I started to become that version. And that's the whole identity shift. You have to stop telling yourself that you're trying to do something, right? You're just doing it and then you're becoming that person because you're sticking to it consistently. So the pattern is the same for everything. But after I applied this in my life, in every area, right, this is where I saw exponential growth. So it was a simple moment where I told myself, I make a decision, I decide who do I want to become, what actions do I need to take to get there, and then you just take straight action without overthinking and without procrastinating. Here's why this mindset shift is so powerful. The reason is because it puts you in control. When you believe that external circumstances need to change first, you're powerless. You're waiting for the world to give you permission to be different. But when you realize that you can choose to act differently right now, no matter your circumstances, no matter how you feel, you gain your power back. And that's where you stop being a victim and you start being a driver of your own life. And that is what creates momentum. And every time you act like that person that you want to become, you prove to yourself that you can be that version. You build evidence and you build trust with yourself. So small actions is what compound to this identity. And identity compounds into transformation. It's crazy that a lot of the time you don't even realize it's in the process. But what I can tell is that the people who think less and they do more, right? They take imperfect action. These are the people who actually experience the most growth because they don't waste any time worrying about things that they cannot even control. So here's what you're going to do. The first step that I want you to take is define who you want to become. Not necessarily what you want to achieve, but just who you want to become. Paint out that identity and get super clear about it. The second thing is ask yourself what that person does on a daily basis. So if you were already that person, what would you do today? What choices would you make? How would you spend your time on a weekly basis? Write all of these things down because this way you're much more likely to actually stick to them. Third step is do those things today, right now. Not on a specific date, but do it today. Act like the person you want to become in this single moment. And it can just be one action, but that one action is what creates that change that you're looking for. A lot of people, they want the results fast, but they're not willing to go through the work, to go through the tasks that are required to get to where they want to be. And that was me a couple of years ago. I used to be that person. I used to wait for my whole life to change until I become someone different. Now I know that you become someone different first, and life has no choice but to change. The only question is, who are you going to be today?